everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am cleaning and decluttering both of my upstairs bathrooms. Right now you are seeing my primary bathroom, and then I will also be working on my kids' bath. So let's just get right into it. So I do pride myself on creating systems and maintaining my organization, so this doesn't look bad at all, but it definitely needs a good cleaning and weeding through, just decluttering things that I don't use anymore, or sometimes, you hang on to some things that are almost empty or empty, and I just need to get rid of some of those things. Especially for me, my makeup, I've got a lot of things that I just don't use. I'm a very minimal person, so I'm gonna go through that. And then you'll see my husband's side is extremely minimal, and that really does help keep things nice and tidy, especially when you have toddlers and they're going through everything. And I know, at least for me, I'm constantly putting things back away, so the less that I have to clean up after her, the easier it is. These bathrooms, as you can kind of see here, are worse for the wear. It's been way too long since I've cleaned them. I don't know what it is about bathrooms, especially like the showers and the tub area. I absolutely hate cleaning them, so I always will find something else to do, but we've gotten to the point where I can't wait anymore. So I'm just taking some scrubbing bubbles and spraying it all over the top of the counter. I don't always use the scrubbing bubbles on top of my countertops, but because it is so grimy, like I was saying, it's been way too long, I decided to use this to make sure I got an extra deep clean. Look at all that dust and grime. It's kind of amazing the amount that can pile up in a fairly short amount of time, and how gross and grimy bathrooms get. I think they get so dusty just because there's not really much airflow, no windows, and so I do wish I kept up with it more, because it does get so dusty and grimy. Although this task should have been completed earlier, like I was saying, it is nice when you have something that's really gross that you start cleaning and you can see immediate progress. It just gives you some motivation to keep going. So I recently added a toothbrush to my cleaning tools, and it's been so nice because it gets in those little tiny spaces that I could not typically reach with a sponge, and I'm able to scrub different things off. I am, however, still having such a hard time I have really hard water where I live, and so it will stick and stay or like build up on the bottom of my faucet, and it also is all over my shower door, and I have such a hard time to get that off. I do have the calcium lime rust, the CLR spray, but I don't love using that just because it's such harsh chemicals. So if anyone has a different tip or trick, let me know. So excited that everything is nice and shiny and clean. And now I'm moving on to the mirrors. Ideally, I would do the mirrors first, but it never fails. I forget the mirrors, and then I've already cleaned the countertops, and so I'll just go back in and get the mirrors. And it's not a huge deal that some of the mirror spray gets on the counter. I just wipe that up. Now I'm just placing things back on the countertop that I moved off to clean them. I don't like to keep a ton of things on the counter, but I do like to keep this little stand with things that we use daily, and then obviously like soap and things, but I try to keep it as minimal as possible just so it looks a little cleaner. on to the toilets. Surprisingly, I don't mind cleaning the toilets as much as I mind cleaning the showers. I think it's just because the shower and the bath, it's like such a daunting task and it takes forever, whereas cleaning the toilets is fairly quick. So I did actually spray scrubbing bubbles on the outside of the toilet just to give it a really nice wet rub down. Normally I would just use like all-purpose cleaner or something and wipe it down, but I am just making sure everything gets a deep clean today since it has been entirely too long. I am now removing things from under my sink cabinet, and I'm going to go through those. So you'll see I'm getting rid of 2 headbands. It's not that I don't necessarily like them or enjoy them, it's just that I don't really wear headbands anymore, and so I don't want to hang on to things that I don't need or use. I'd rather donate those, and then if I need them in the future, I can reevaluate if that's something I want to repurchase, and 99% of the time I don't need it again. So I do think it is worth it to get rid of items like that. And I'm also going through the different scrunchies. I still love, the scrunchies, and the bows are coming back. So I have some scrunchies that have like a longer ribbon, so that will be perfect. But I'm just wiping things down too. Things aren't too grimy in here, but they do have like a little bit of dust on them. So I just want to get that all nice and cleaned up. And then I'm going to go through each item and determine if this is something that I would like to donate or need to throw away, or things I'm going to keep. So this first drawer is all different skincare items. So I'm going to go through that, wipe out the drawer, and then determine what I'm donating and what I'm keeping. So the makeup drawer is the drawer that probably needs the most help, and probably actually will have the most things that I'm getting rid of. I will go through like these weird random phases where I think I'm gonna wear makeup, and then I'll buy, an item and a product that I think I'm gonna use, and then I just don't. And so I need to really stop that bad habit and just kind of accept the fact that I am more of a tinted moisturizer, tinted sunscreen kind of girl, and I always will be. So I need to just like make sure I stay in my lane there. One of my favorite things that I've done for under our bathroom sinks is make this daily items caddy. I had leftover caddies from when I stopped teaching to stay home with my kiddos, and so I turned those into daily items caddies because my daughter, when she was 6 months to a year, and we would be in here in the morning getting ready and whatnot, she would always go through different items and products, and then I couldn't find what I needed, and everything's all over the bathroom floor. And so by making these daily item caddies, I can just grab the caddy and put it on the countertop, and then I have basically everything that I'm going to use for the day in there. I've got the majority of the makeup I use, toothpaste, deodorant, face wash, sunscreen, all of the good stuff in there, and so I can always find what I need on a daily basis right there in this caddy. Also, this Lazy Susan or Tina Turner or whatever you call it is so nice to have in the bathroom because you can easily access a bunch of different products just by putting it on one of the turners and spinning it. So these polka dot buckets I have had since I was literally in middle school. It's honestly impressive that I haven't gotten rid of them and gotten something new because that's how I am. But they work perfectly for holding my hot tools. I eventually do want to find, a better system for all of it because it is kind of cramped and crowded, but for right now it looks great. It's minimal and it's cleaned out. So now I am taking things out of my husband's side. I'm going to wipe it down and then go through his drawers. He likely will only have like 1 or 2 things that I'm going to get rid of in his drawers because it is already very minimal to start with, but it's always a good idea just to go through things. Also, note to self, he needs no more shaving cream for a very long time. I think 3 bottles in backstock is more than enough. But just going through, wiping out the drawers, putting items back inside that I think he might want to keep. And I just wanted to note too that if it's an item that I'm questioning, I always will talk to him and make sure that it is okay to get rid of before I get rid of it. Okay, funny story. My daughter, who is 22 months, she'll be 2 in February, so just like a month and a half, 2 months away. And she has loved taking the mouthwash, the daily items caddy, and the travel bag out of my husband's cabinet and playing hide and seek in it, and she thinks it's the funniest thing in the world. So these are all items that we are getting rid of. And now I'm moving on to my linen cabinet, and I'm just going to go through the different bins that I have. It does look like from the outside it looks like it's organized and functional, and it definitely is, but it's always a good idea to go through and just make sure you're not holding on to things that you don't need. Especially with your medicines, it's a good idea to go through periodically and make sure things aren't expired. I always find things that are expired when I go through my medicines, even if I'm going through them, once or twice a year. I always find something that is that we no longer should use since it's expired. So I am going through my nail polish now. I was a big like dip manicure girl, and I loved going every 3-ish weeks when I was teaching, but now it's just an expense that I can't justify since I am, at home with my kiddos right now, and it is also so time consuming, and I just don't want to be away from my kiddos that long, or have to ask someone to watch my kids so I can go get my nails done. I'm not knocking it if that's something you do and something you love. I think you should totally keep doing it, but that's not for me. So I was going through all the nail polish because I am going to start doing my own nails more frequently. And so now this next bin is topical medicine. I went through when I was first trying to organize everything, and I made categories, and so that's how I came up with what topic or label the bin should have. I now am like wishing and realizing that the baby medicine one should probably have a bigger bin, but at the time when I was making my categories, I obviously had very minimal baby medicine since my daughter was so young. So this is the main drawer that I'm really paying attention to expiration dates. This is medicine for my husband and myself. And so I just want to see, what things are expired and what things maybe we need to replace, just because I like to have various, pain meds and cold meds on hand in case we get sick. We don't have to run out and grab anything. We'll just have it ready to go. So that blue bin is a postpartum caddy that I've made for myself, and I actually had such a blessed postpartum period that I didn't use a ton of it, and so I'm saving that for hopefully the next baby. And so this is the clean linen closet. I'm very happy with how it turned out. Now this disaster pit is my kids' my kids' bathroom. Josie is currently obsessed with Mickey Mouse, and my family got her that for Christmas, and so I thought the Mickey Mouse mat would be perfect in the bathroom. I actually am going to make their bathroom kind of like a Mickey Disney theme, and I'm really excited about that. My plan this year is to try and focus on one space of my house per month and make it, decorate it and make it like the area that I want it to look like. I have such a scattered head that sometimes I'll buy, an item for one room, or I'll start a project in a different room, and then I just have like a mess, or I just feel like things aren't flowing properly. And so I'm going to focus on one space a month and try and get it up to speed and, turn this house into my dream house. I'm not going to wait around to move somewhere or do something different. I have a beautiful, amazing home, and I'm just going to turn it into something that functions for us and is really pleasing to the eye. So I took away bath toys that had holes in them just because I'm trying to eliminate that so we don't have mold, and I'm soaking the rest of the toys just in Dawn dish soap and hot water just so those can get a good cleaning. And now I am moving under the sink cabinet, just giving that a good clean. I'm going to go through the kids' stuff. The cabinet to my left is actually full of things for our dog, Ellie, grooming materials and different things. And so that actually doesn't need to be cleaned and organized since we have just exactly what we need for her. So I wiped it out and then put everything back in that cabinet. So that one is good to go. But this cabinet definitely needs some work. So I'm going through bows for Josie, which is just honestly kind of comical for me because you'll see her at the end of this video, but she is such a curly Q. Has just the cutest curls, but they're just on top of her head, so she doesn't have any length or anything to them. Plus she's such a spitfire that anything I put in her hair is immediately ripped out, so I guess it is just, you know, a fool's dream to keep the bows and expect her to wear them, but maybe one day. So now I'm just wiping out different containers that I'm storing things in and going to weed out anything that we are not using anymore. I also wanted to mention that this is day either 3 or 4 of me working on our bathrooms upstairs. This is absolutely not something I could do all in one day unless I wanted to stay up late to do it, but this bathroom is right next to my daughter's bedroom, and so it's not something that I can do at night. So I did actually have to wait to clean this bathroom until the weekend so that my husband could keep an eye on the kiddos while I am focused on cleaning this bathroom. And so if you are struggling with getting things done, I am right there with you. I'm in the thick of it with 2 under 2, and so getting things done is absolutely a challenge. And so it took me a week to get all of the bathrooms cleaned in my house, but even though it took forever, I'm so glad that I got it done and I've accomplished it. So if you struggle with, you know, starting a task and not being able to finish it in a day, know that I'm right there with you and keep powering through. My favorite thing is organizing spaces and creating systems that have them be functional but also beautiful. And so I am planning on doing a lot of cleaning and decluttering videos in the month of January and February. And so if that is something that you'd like to see, or if you have a specific space that you would like to see me clean and declutter, let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to tackle a space that you would love to see. I cannot begin to tell you how nice it feels to get this bathtub clean. My daughter really loves the little tablets that you toss into the water that makes them change colors, and although it's a blast for her, it leaves this like foaming residue ring around the tub, and it is just disgusting. So I feel so good about getting that cleaned and taken care of. So now I am cleaning off this section of the countertop. It's actually really nice. In the bathroom we have a space for a sink, but there's probably, would have been enough space for an additional sink over here, but without the sink we just have ample countertop space, which I think will be nice when, our kids are older and multiple people are trying to use the bathroom at the same time. At least that's what I'm hoping for. So just getting this clean and wiped up. And fun fact, those calendars are something that I decided to do for my kids in the new year. So each kiddo has their own calendar, and each night my husband and I will just write down like a little tiny tidbit that we found through the day, or something funny or whatever. And so then at the end of the year they'll have like all these little thoughts that we had of them throughout the year. Well, I can honestly say I am not surprised that I'm going back and cleaning the mirrors after I already did the countertops. Like I said, never fails, I always forget to do that. Like I said, I don't always use scrubbing bubbles on the outside of my toilet, but everything is pretty grimy, so I just want to make sure I am getting it all extra sparkly and clean. Now I'm just switching out the trash bag so I can get that taken care of. After cleaning out the medicine drawers and decluttering my primary bath, I had a lot of trash. So I brought up a big trash bag, and I am getting all of that taken care of. Last but not least, I am sweeping the floors of both bathrooms, and then I am going to mop. Sweeping them is definitely a necessity, even though it looks like nothing is on the floors most of the time. The amount of like dust and lint that's built up in the corners, I absolutely have to sweep it out. Plus I have a lot of hair and it gets all over the floor. Thank you so much for being here today and watching my clean and decluttering video, bathroom edition. It means the world to me that you decided to watch this video and support me. If you like this video, please give a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Also, leave requests for spaces that you would like me to clean and declutter in my home. And this is the final product. Everyone have a great week, and I will see you in my next one.